Totally. So, the group Olympus got a lot of it together. So yeah, and it was basically like a high school traditional prom for everybody. So like we asked everybody to kind of dress up for it. A lot of people were editing their avatars to either have tuxes or be dressed up and have big gowns and all that, or just like nice nightwear. Atlas, who's the owner of Olympus, he
Welcome to Metaverse Degen. I'm Lion.
I'm Old Man Raptor, and we got one hell of a guest today, folks, and that is...
Hello, how you doing? It's me, ZombiePunk.
Hello. Thank you for joining us. It's a pleasure to have you.
It's great to
Thank
have
you.
you here, Zombie. Really do.
Oh, let's jump into the meat of it. What are you known for? How'd you get started? What got you into VRChat?
So what got me into VRChat was just the store. I didn't know what it was at all. I just got a VR headset, and I just got on here and started hopping around, and just through mishaps and stuff like that, and over time just kind of like got to where I'm at now.
Oh.
What was the other part of that? I'm sorry. Hold on, let me fix my hip. You know how it is.
Oh, yeah. Oh. So, may I ask, what is Couture and what started it?
Oh, okay. So Couture is a new venture for me and a bunch of people from my old team. I used to run Cozy Club, and we did that for about 3 years. And then I started wanting to do a whole different project because it had gotten very big and required a lot of time, and I wasn't able to be as like creative and fun as I wanted to be. Became a lot of like day in day out kind of stuff.
Oh.
Okay, I got one for him.
So, yeah.
When you first came into VR, what was the weirdest thing you ever saw? And I ask everybody the same weird question.
Oh, the weirdest thing I ever saw. What would that be? Honestly, it'd probably be maybe when I saw like my first music performance in here at like I think it was Midnight Munchies and stuff. Because I just wasn't wrapping my head around like people playing their music and stuff over there and the show that was going on. I don't know if you're familiar with him, but he has like a tremendous Twitch show that he does at the same time during his open mic. He's like very entertaining. I couldn't believe I was there. I was like, wait, how is nobody talking about this? This is so funny and so fun, you know? I think that was like one of my weirdest things, just like experiencing that. And like, I got into playing.
I'm on blue.
Oh, don't worry. I do that stuff all the time.
Here we go.
Raptors, you might let Z2 know. Well, we
got a special guest.
Yeah, sure. Are.
Sorry.
Yeah, it's all good. I do that stuff all the time. A lot of my friends like to, show off worlds and stuff. They're like in the process of making and stuff, and it's like, wait, who's joining right now? Who's on blue? I'm like, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Please continue. Sorry to have interrupted you.
Yeah, but basically, I think that would be my like weirdest experience with that. It's just kind of like the craziness that goes on with those open mics, between like comedy and all the other acts and the music and stuff, and then his comedy that he does. He has like donation goals where you can have him do things. $6.66. He'll freestyle rap about any subject that you give him. I think that's fun.
Okay. So before Couture, you were Cozy Club. What is that, and what got that started? What was it like during the time?
Oh yeah, so like Cozy Club is like from way back in the day where it was like pre-groups, like a little bit before groups. Because me and my buddy wanted to start doing fun things with our friends. So, like we'd hang out, Black Cat, Pug, things like that. And we were seeing kind of like the same old for us. And I like to world hop a lot. So I would kind of like design little world hop themed nights and things. And it just kind of like developed over there as like more and more people wanted to get in on the fun. And then I don't know, yeah, it just kind of like snowballed. So like some of our events just become like bigger and bigger, and I spent more time doing production on them, and then eventually started getting staff who wanted to help out so I could like expand what we were doing. What it turned into by the end of it is not what I envisioned for us at all, because we eventually started mixing with the music and rave scenes, and started doing our own music events and stuff, and we got to be known for being a pretty notable rave club and music club as well. But we still did a lot of social events as well. That was always like a focus for me. We had like every other Wednesday we did cuddle puddles is what we called them. So it was basically a day to be in a nice comfy world and a chill atmosphere and be able to hang out with you and whoever you want to cuddle with. You don't have to do it specifically. It's kind of just like more of a casual hangout day, but moderated and safe for people to be themselves, right?
Wait a minute. Let me try to wrap my little brain around this. So it's like taking money and putting it in a parking meter and turning the knob and hope you get lucky so that somebody don't give you a ticket because your meter runs out. Am I on the same page or am I on the wrong page?
No. So it's like, you would show up and like a lot of people are there to mingle, cuddle, and get close and, know people. Yeah. That's kind of like the point.
Okay. I was just curious because that's what it came to my mind when you. Don't get me wrong, I've cuddled and everything else. You usually get squished, but that's beside the point. We won't go there. No, be nice. Be nice.
I wasn't gonna say anything, Mr. Raptor.
Okay. That's a first, folks. Keep that on your calendar. So
okay. So during your days with Cozy Club, what are some of your favorite memories from those times?
I really treasure our first anniversary we had, because that was like a nice bit. Oops, sorry, my tracker's been funny. Might just turn it off even. But my first one. Is it fine if I stand? I usually stand just most of the time. Okay, thank you.
You could stand. Well, except for stand on your head, that'd be a little weird. I've never had anybody do that yet.
Yeah, do the thing where you flip yourself upside down.
No, he's come close to doing it, but he had his legs stuck over his head. Yeah, but you were saying?
I don't know what I was saying. What's the question? I'm sorry.
What was your favorite memory from those times in Cozy Club?
Oh, yeah. So the first anniversary. So of all days that me and my original co-owner started, it was Halloween. So our first anniversary landed on Halloween. We wanted to do a big costume contest, and we got a bunch of clubs involved, and I had like a bunch of celebrity judges for the night, and we did a full, you come out, the judges. We had basically told them to kind of be characters, so we had like a Simon Cowell, Rob Roman was one of our judges, and it was just a super fun night. Everybody got really into it. Everybody was showing up with edits to their avatars and stuff, and I love that people really got into the spirit of it. And that was like a really, really, really cute night. I appreciate when people get into the theme. And our third year was just really big and kind of emotional for me, because it's just kind of crazy that we made it so far, and I was like looking at all of our friends, and it was just like a really big event, and like so many people were there to support and congratulate, and it's cool to look around like the community I've been able to be part of and foster over that time.
Oh wow. So with that said, what initially was the conversation or the idea that sparked Couture, and what were some of the first things you've done with that group?
So what kind of sparked it was, so I'm always been kind of a fashionista on here. I'm kind of known for changing my outfits constantly. Like every other week I'm working on something or getting something. I love shopping on Booth, do my fit. And also IRL, I'm like also very kind of like big into fashion and just like well grooming and all that kind of stuff. So for me, it was kind of natural to kind of shoot for something that was high fashion inspired and very aesthetic. So one of the first things for me that we've been focusing on is our magazine. We've been putting out a monthly magazine, and it's very fashion inspired, but we've been doing like different themes and stuff along the way just for fun, keeping it fresh for people. So like last month, or well, I guess technically this month still, so the sports edition. So we talked about like a lot of well-being and things to get you fit and active in here, like the VR yoga community and all this other stuff. And then for May, we actually just kind of shadow dropped an early version of the May issue at the prom night we were just a part of. And then that's kind of themed around music and stuff. So it's kind of like a Rolling Stones edition where we do like track reviews and all this other stuff. And then like the full release will be on the 1st like we normally do, because then we'll have added pictures and everything from the prom night, because we're kind of doing kind of like a photo book like you would have gotten in like high school prom, you know. We got a bunch of edits for everybody's avatars and couple photos and stuff.
Okay. So you guys do a magazine. I remember the conversation we had prior. You were telling us about tailors and other stuff you're doing over there. Would you mind explaining some of that as well?
Yeah. Sorry again. Since I want people to be able to express their fashion and design and themselves, I guess, a little bit more, I've kind of noticed along the ways of like my own way of figuring out how to make myself the way I want to look on here is it's difficult. It's kind of like you need to know somebody who knows somebody kind of deal for the most part, right? You want avatar edits or certain things. You kind of need a friend to refer you to somebody. There's nowhere to like look. There's no directory, you know? So something I wanted to do is start making essentially like a hub and somewhere for people to go directly to find people to work on their avatars and do things. Because I think it's kind of a thing people don't really think they can even do a lot of times. It's like, oh, I like this asset, but it's not meant for my avatar, you know, because they would have to hunt down somebody who could do work to rig it and fit it to their avatar. Well, we've already done the work for you. Here's all these people who are willing to take work and stuff. You can just put in a ticket, yada, yada, you're set up. Because Booth has a really good model in that, or like the Japanese scene in general, in that there's a lot of popular bases, and then a lot of creators make a ton of content for those bases, right? Gumroad and the American scene doesn't really have that nearly as much. There's some popular bases and stuff, but they don't. There's not a community that develops more content for it, so everything's kind of limited and runs fast, you know. So I think there needs to be more of an introduction and more of like a direct advertisement to the community, right?
So have you guys done any of this yet, or is it just the magazine you're working on right now?
Just the magazine we're working on right now. We're just doing things in stages. It's just me and a handful of other people. And something that was big for me in switching from Cozy to Couture was working on work-life balance in here. Because at the end of Cozy, we were doing about like 14 events a month. Like most of the month was events. So it was not like I was at every single one, but I was at a lot. I was doing a lot of HR, doing a lot of stuff. We ended up having like a 60-person staff at it. So it became way too much to manage, and I didn't want to do that anymore. So things rolling out over time, bit by bit. But I have a lot of it kind of set up now where if people were interested, we can get the ball rolling, but it's not like a full release of the program yet.
Okay. Oh, so since you've kind of been slow rolling Couture, how has things been so far? Is it going the direction you want? How has the magazine been received since you started?
Oh, it's been going really well. We're still doing events and fun things here and there. Because I'm a party planner. I like planning out fun, goofy things. We just did a spring fling event. So it's kind of like a late Easter thing. It was on Earth Day. And I made a cute little meadow picnic for us to hang out in. And we played just really cute, fun music for people. I did like an Animal Crossing set. I had another friend do like some anime cute music. And then like a nice little like Porter Robinson set to close it out. Because again, I like to do themes and stuff like that, and I want to give people experiences. I don't want to be a club. Well, I'm not going to be a club that like is a day in, day out kind of thing anymore. Nothing's on a schedule for us. It's just a thing will happen when it's done and ready for you. Because everything used to be on schedules, and there's so many clubs that do that. I want our events to be more special, you know. I want them to kind of mean something a little bit. I want people to miss it, honestly. You know, it's either you missed it because you didn't get there, or you missed it because we're not going to do it again, and or it's going to be a long time. You know.
Yeah. Oh, so what made you want to make that switch?
I've always wanted to make more artistic impacts on here. I'm also a creative. I'm a musician. I'm a bassist specifically. I've been playing for like 20 years. And I love just all sorts of art projects and stuff. I've always done things for streams and my bands and stuff. So this is just kind of like another avenue to do it. And for me, this is a lot more almost performance art in a way, getting these events and stuff going. Because a lot of times I'm trying to put on a little bit of a character to carry on the theme and things for people, like the prom night we just did. You know, like I even made an avatar that was kind of like a teacher, like a principal kind of look. And I was just kind of like chaperoning everybody because I think it makes it fun for people, right? And I love doing that kind of stuff. And this is kind of a really cute, honestly, kind of low barrier way, just because like everything's possible to do in here if you can make it happen.
Okay. So what was the spring fling and how'd it go? What happened?
It was perfect. It was on a Tuesday, so nice and light. We did it super early because my buddy Frog, who runs the secret level, he's got his event at, well, like pretty much we had like a half-hour overlap between their events and stuff like that, because I try not to compete with my friends for events. Also, it's just wise to not do that generally with a lot of things. And Couture is still because something that people are becoming aware of, because for Cozy, we used to have really big Tuesdays. That was kind of like a thing. We've been doing totally Tuesdays for 2.5 years straight. So every Tuesday for like 2 years. So people knew that was a spot to go to and all that stuff. So people aren't familiar with the new name Couture, and also with our events not being as consistent, that's something that we need to make sure we're doing all the time, is promoting and make sure people are aware that we're doing something, right?
Okay. Oh, so was the Spring Fling your first event as Couture?
No, we've done other things because we switched over in January. Kind of the thing that I wanted to go for was New Year, New You, right? So we started launching everything then. It was kind of a slow transition in that we would take January to build everything up and get everything set. And then once February hit, we started doing events. The first one we did was our speed dating event, which is something we even did back in Cozy. So this would have been our third annual one doing it. And it's a cute night where we have a world where everybody gets matched up with somebody randomly while you're in the lobby. You get put into cute little themed rooms that do things over time. It has like icebreaker questions and little games and pens and things in there to get people talking. You got about like 5 minutes to do that. And then there's like a lightning round after so many rounds and stuff. And then we ended the night with like a cute little after party and sent everybody off.
Okay. So do you guys have a lot of crossover events from Cozy Club or what you're doing now?
Well, yeah, there's certain things that like we were doing back then that are just fun things that I'd still want to do. Something I did a long time ago was these bar crawl events, as I was calling them, because I like I said, like I like doing a lot of world happening. I like showing people a lot of cool worlds because a lot of them do show up to the same place week in, week out, right? So I would hunt down a few interesting worlds, figure out how to make them work for the event, and then would invite a couple other groups along, and I would do an organized world hop where you do like 2 DJs in each world, and then you call it a night there, right? So it's like a 6-hour event. It's pretty long. I kind of don't like doing more than 4-hour events because it's, that's a big time commitment, right? But every once in a while for fun, that's cool. And especially when you have shifts and stuff like that, it makes it easier when people can take over. At this point, I've worked with a lot of people who are familiar with how to do it, so I feel comfortable with them taking over if I need to leave.
Okay. Oh, so how many events have you run, and how is your feeling on the switch over to the new style?
Well, it's been great. we've been a part of a lot of them because something that we can do more now, and that's fun for us, is like media and media presence and promo for other people, because of the magazine, because of well, we're getting like a whole video section and everything launched here soon. We've been live streaming events for people on Twitch and doing more of like a hostess stream, not just like here's the music for however long and then it's the end of the stream. Like, we're talking to people, we're interfacing, talking to the DJs afterwards. Of course, we are letting, I would say, the majority of the DJ's hour playing out, but there's a good 15-minute section here and there where we're interacting with people, we're interacting with chat, we're making it more of a fun experience for people who can't be there. And a better way for people to reflect on what's happening while they're there, instead of just knowing you were there and seeing a camera from the DJ's perspective and calling it a day. It's like, you were there, you were interviewed. It's like, there's a clip of you can show with your friends and stuff. I think that's more fun.
Okay. Have you guys started doing that yet?
Oh yeah. The prom was probably our 5th stream of that. We started with my buddy Twilo's event, his house music only. That was kind of like our little beta test, and it was super fun. And then we've been doing it for the majority of our events since then. Pretty much every weekend, every other weekend, as many Saturdays as we could possibly do at this point, I would say.
Okay.
I got one for mine. In the process of doing what you're doing, if I can get this without fucking it up, and I probably will anyhow. In the process of doing it, what's it take to get all that process going in the direction you want it to go? What's it take?
Oh, that's a good one. For me, it takes a lot. I'm a little bit of a perfectionist. Of course, I'm a realist. I like to give myself timetables to get things out and moving. But for me, I like to take the time to make it right. Right? If I don't feel comfortable with it being somewhat set up, then I'm not going to do it. Right? I'll postpone things. I've done it in the past with, like things kind of falling through with staff who can't make it to the event, or a number of DJs who call out, and it's just kind of like a perfect storm of things. It's like, I'll cancel an event. I don't want to waste people's time. That's always like a really big thing for me on here, because I can't pay anybody. Mostly everybody's doing everything for free. So if people are volunteering my time, the most I can do to pay them is respect their time, right? So I ask for as little as possible. I make it as easy as possible, because they're doing me the favor of helping me make my stupid idea happen,
Okay, I gotcha.
Between Couture and Cozy Club, what have been some of your biggest hurdles, and how did you get over them?
I would say like the biggest hurdle would be managing size and like scale, because like I was saying, it just became like really, really big at the end. And like, I've been in bands, with a number of people, and I've led teams at work and things, but nothing like 60 people, like it's a lot to manage. Like I had to learn. I was like watching like business things to like learn how do I manage a larger team? How do I communicate this? How do I let them communicate to me? I had to make like channels because I didn't have enough time for everybody to talk to me. So it's like, okay, now I got to make leads and all this other stuff to like make literally an organization, which was very, very interesting. It was like its own cool, interesting journey, but like I had to learn how to run a business, essentially. Was like the funny thing. That was a pretty big hurdle, and just making sure, like I said, everybody's time's respected and everybody's happy. Like I don't want people disdainful or unsatisfied while volunteering for me. If you're unsatisfied and you're getting paid, at least you're getting paid. But if you're unsatisfied and you're not getting paid, that's awful.
Okay.
Got another one for him. Now, what you're doing in here in VR, have you taken any of that to the real world, or vice versa? You said you take a little bit that you said it was business-wise. Do you take any of that to the real world, or vice, one side or the other? Do you take what you learn in here to the real world, in real life, and vice versa?
Yeah, I think I do. I think like my current job now, I lead like a small team, and I think I'm a little more beneficial and organized because my job actually functions a lot, kind of like how I honestly was organizing things on Discord. A lot of it's office work, a lot of it's through chats and stuff. So I think that actually helped me out a lot. But for taking other things IRL, with Cozy Club, I was constantly pushing it out there when I was going to play shows because, like, I play in bands, and so I would tell a lot of people about it. I knew a number of DJs and stuff who'd be interested in the scene. And then I went to Lost Lands, and I had QR codes to join the club, and it would take you to a specific page to explain exactly what the hell you're looking at, what the hell this is. Because, you know, when you're in Lost Lands partying with a lot of people, you don't have time to exactly explain what all of this is, you know. So I had a soft landing page for people, and there's actually a couple people still in our Discord who I met from there who just like chit chat, check out the stuff. One of them got VR because of it, because they thought they were like, cool, I can party and find cool music all the time now.
Okay.
Oh. So when you explain what you do in here to people outside, how do they normally respond to it?
A lot of them just say it's crazy. Because like I'm not bashful about it.
You do what? I bet you get that a lot. Do what?
Oh, do 100%. Yeah. Well, it's like I'll tell people like, oh, I DJ because I also DJ, and they'll be like, oh, where do you DJ at? I'm like, well, in VR, and they'll be like, what? I'm like, well, I run a VR club, and I participate in the community, and we all DJ and stuff, and like, well, here's just a picture and a video, and then they're looking at, they're like, what? So hold on, what the hell? So that's you as the girl with the bunny suit and stuff. I'm like, yep, that's me. And they're like, what the? It's just blowing their mind. The only people who've kind of got it were a couple of my friends who've put on the headset while they were over here. I played a set one time where I'm just playing. I have the window up on the screen so I can see, but my buddy has the headset on, and he's like talking to my friends at the rave. He was like, "Oh, this is cool. I get it. It's literally a rave. It's like I get." There's nothing different. Everybody's doing the exact same thing. There's people dancing, bass heads right over on the decks, lights, everything. Now he's been trying to get into it. He's got a Jinx system because he has a PS5, so he's trying to make the PS the headset work with his laptop, and he's struggling, but he hops on here from time to time.
Ooh.
E for effort. Always need that E for effort. At least he's giving it a try. You can't do.
Oh yeah.
Cool. Well, that's really awesome that some people are trying it while others are not. Now, from everything you've done, have you viewed VR any differently than how you did when you first entered?
Yeah, very much so. When I first got on here, it was like a very different kind of experience and reason I would get on here. It's similar because I'm on here for people, right? But like when I used to get on here, like that was the back in the golden days of mirror dwelling and stuff, before personal mirrors and back when mods were around. It's like, a very different time. And I was just talking and hanging out with a bunch of buds on here. I didn't really explore too much for like months and months. It just I started out on FurHub. I hopped into FurHub because I wanted a rabbit avatar, and then I met my first couple of buds there, and I just hung out there for months and months until they were like, we should go hop around. We should show you more. And that's when I found out more stuff and different avatars and how crazy the world is. And it wasn't even still for like a year and a half until I found like the music communities on here. And that's when I went at like full deep in here. I was like, oh, now I found my people. This is cool. Like, all the big events, the crazy music, especially the live scene. I really liked open mic. I used to play bass on here for open mics like all the time because I don't get too many chances to play my own solo material live. So that was nice.
Oh,
Ooh.
wow.
What was that? Oh yeah, we got to stretch. We got to stretch.
Stretch that leg out, yeah, folks. It happens to all. I've got one for you. Why I'm
Auditioning for the Rockettes.
Well, I don't know how to answer that question, but okay, I'll throw out something there. Okay, since you've been in VR and everything else from the past to the future, do you have any one world that you love or always go back and see again and again from then to now?
Cozy boat, 100%. It's like constantly my home world over and over again. That's kind of like where I first started meeting a lot of new people. Because it was a PC only world. Because back then that was like a big thing. Because groups weren't around, so you couldn't like moderate as well. So that's back when like kids, like they would just be in any world, right? So having PC only kind of age gated a little bit, which is nice. So you started meeting more fun, interesting people, and being able to actually have conversations. And it's a tiny little world. Like my avatar now would be gigantic in there. And like people would just be watching YouTube, doing other stuff. I would be like drawing with pens. It was like a weird, simple kind of world. I met a lot of my first big friend group there. So yeah, like I have a lot of attachment to it. It's really sweet. It's kind of like a world that a lot of people don't even use anymore. It's like an old school style world, like at this point. It's kind of meant for like the days of mirror dwelling in front of like a TV and watching YouTube and stuff, which there are now, but they're like way more intricate, like the Wispy Woo worlds and stuff.
Okay, I gotcha.
I understand. So you mentioned you spent a lot of time in FurHub, and that's when you found everything else, like the live events and the rave events. What were some of the first places you went to, and what made you want to stay?
The first place was Shelter. Kind of like a lot of people. I met a buddy who was like, I'm going to a rave. And I was like, how does that work? Please explain. He's like, I'm taking you. So this is back before queues. So there was this bot that you would add called the VRCDN. There was like red and green or whatever. And you would essentially just spam that as much as you could, as fast as you could when the event would open, and hope you got in there. So it kind of made it like a little fun and exclusive and cool and a little more underground. So it's like, yes, you got in, you know? And then, yeah, Shelter's absolutely wild. I think it's a good first experience for people. I don't go there very often now because, like, over time of like, I like having my events run better and stuff. It's a very heavy world. And it may not be everybody's thing because, like, you can't really chit chat in there, which is kind of nice sometimes because it does make people focus. But, you know, if you want to hang with your buds, you can't really hear them. But it's where I would take everybody for their first rave. Like if we can get them in Shelter, yeah, dude, like that will get you hooked. You'll have a ball. You'll be like, this is crazy. Can't believe this is real.
Okay. Cool. So you also mentioned earlier in the conversation that you yourself are a musician and artist out of here. What got you into doing that, and how does your time in VR reflect what you know outside of the headset?
So I started playing music back when I was like, well, I started when I was 12. I started playing trumpet, but I became a bassist when I was 14. And, yeah, I've just been playing it nonstop. I've always been in bands, tons and tons of bands. I fill it with my life. Basically, it was as much music as I can fit, right? So, like, with my band, like, we practice all the time. We're writing albums all the time. We're gigging all the time. And now I've just filled in my other free time with DJing now. So I'm doing all that. I'm about to start like some like EDM production myself. I've just been like, screw it, I'll make my own songs at this point. I like tackling new things and learning new things and stuff. So I'm always doing some sort of project like that. I think that's one thing that has made me kind of good at running events and kind of like getting into the scene and stuff in here is that I've been doing it for such a long time. Like I'm used to networking, I'm used to setting up events and bookings and all that kind of stuff. A lot of that's second nature for me. So I think I kind of had an advantage when I started getting on the scene with doing that, just because I knew how to promo and set things up and all that. And a lot of other people on here, even with their groups that have been around for a while, they've only been at it for like a few years, right? So they're still kind of like learning the process and figuring out what works and what doesn't work. When, you know, I figured that a lot of that out back when I was like, 19, but I've been fortunate that way.
Okay. Oh, so how is what you know in real life similar or different from what you do or did in VRChat?
Bookings, planning, all that kind of stuff, I would say is pretty much the same, except for economics. Because that doesn't come into play here If it does, it's like very often very specific reasons, right? But for my bands, any of our gigs, it's all, you have to have money be a part of it, because that's life, gas money, expenditures, food, all that stuff, and then merch. They all cost a bunch of money, right? So if you want to do the fun, big, cool stuff, you got to figure out how to fund it. So that's something I've had to learn over time as well, is how to be like, honestly, a good salesperson and making things that people want and knowing how to sell things, right? No band wants to print out 200 albums and sell 10. You want it to sell out, right? You want to do another reprint because people want more, right? So you have to snowball it yourself. You got to make people excited about your products. You got to know how people to promo them and stuff. And I'm a realist, so like I'm an adult. I got to make some money off of the time that I've spent on here, or not on here, but like working with my music. So it just I don't like the starved artist thing. I tried it for a little bit. It's awful. I wouldn't recommend it. People are more than willing to help support you if they like your stuff.
Okay.
And you don't have to feel bashful about it.
Okay. Cool. So, what makes you stay here all this time, may I ask? What makes you keep putting back on the headset?
Yeah, the big toaster on my face. A bunch of my buds. I really like my friends. I've had a lot of them on here for now a number of years. A couple of my buddies, probably from my first month of meeting people on here, I still keep in contact with them and see them regularly.
Oh, wow.
It's just cool to have the kind of relationships that you can have on here with people. And I get a lot of satisfaction from doing the fun events and things. I'm an entertainer, so I love making people's nights, being like any way that I can help do that. Right? Either it's playing music for them or getting music to them or having a fun event and getting you to do something goofy and just being able to laugh. That like the other night, the prom night was probably one of my favorite things that I've been a part of in a long time, because it was very big on
Nope. You alive?
Uh-oh.
I think we are okay.
You okay?
We hear you.
Can you hear me? Okay,
Yeah.
there we go.
Yeah,
All right, we're
yeah,
back.
we can
We're back,
hear
baby. Okay.
All right. Just want to make sure
I got too
we're on the
excited
same
about
page.
prom night. I broke my internet.
I got danced around the ball real hard, didn't he? I bet he did there, Len. Got to dance around the ball.
But yeah, no, like when we were playing a bunch of slow music for people to actually dance with their partners and stuff like that. We had dancers there for people to find if you were like flying solo or if you're just going to get a partner. And during all the slow dance and stuff, there's all these couples on the floor, all lag dancing with each other and getting each other's space and being super adorable, and it was just melting my heart. And I absolutely love those that's what I like to do on here. I love looking out at the crowd, like midway through the event, people laughing, tons of people meeting, new friendships being made. That's like why I get on here all the time.
So this
I
prom.
got one for him. What?
Right.
Whoops. Do you want it?
Mm-hmm.
Now, it says in your bio that you're married.
Uh-huh.
Not to bring in
Yes.
your personal life, but do you
Oh, it's
bring your
fine.
wife? Do you bring your wife in here on VR?
No, my wife's not much of a gamer. She's put on the headset a couple of times, just kind of like peek around in here, but she hasn't like been on here. I share a lot with her, and she's in my Discord server and stuff, so she sees everything that's going on. She thinks it's super cool. She thinks it's goofy as hell, but yeah, she she supports it.
Well, at least she supports you. God, I hope she supports you and getting smacked upside the head. Go, no, no, no. No, no,
yeah.
no. Yeah, I hope you.
No, I
God
joke
you
with
don't have
people
one
on
of them.
here. It's like the only reason I'm actually on here is because my wife shares me with everybody on here.
Whoa!
Yeah.
Ouch! Hey, yeah, I can take that as
Hey, she comes
direction.
She comes first. She comes first, 100%.
Oh, there you go. Okay, no problem. I don't want to go any further on that question, folks. That could kill me.
Now, this prom that you've mentioned, did you set up like what people traditionally think a prom would be like? How did that event run?
Totally. So the group Olympus got a lot of it together. So yeah, and it was basically like a high school traditional prom for everybody. So like we asked everybody to kind of dress up for it. A lot of people were editing their avatars to either have tuxes or be dressed up and have big gowns and all that, or just like nice nightwear. Atlas, who's the owner of Olympus, he played like just a perfect high school set, just letting songs play out, bunch of cool party jams for people, some B-52, some slow jams, real fun. People were just really enjoying it versus like a night of like dubstep and drum and bass and stuff like that. So I think people were appreciating that. And for us, we were running a lot of media. We were streaming on Twitch, doing a bunch of cute little interviews with people, and then also a lot of photography because we're putting together like a prom night addendum to the magazine for the first. So we've edited all the pictures. We've added like corny little backgrounds like you would have had at your prom or whatever. So it looks super cute. We're gonna publish that on the first.
Oh, so another question I have about your magazine specifically is how do you structure it, and what kinds of things can people see inside the magazine?
Oh yeah, so I try to make it as accessible as possible. So I post all of the pictures on a channel in Discord, but we also host it on a website called FlipSnack, which allows it to be like an interactable digital magazine, right? So pages flip, you can have animations and videos run on it. I can have animated elements and interactable things, so you could click and make things happen, either links or I just found out I can do fun things like crosswords and Sudokus. So I'm probably going to do that in there for like some prizes and stuff here and there. So it's super fun. It's like it's different than having to do something in print. It's like kind of limitless. It's only up till the limits of the program, right? So you got a little something on you.
Hey, bud, I don't know what your issue is, but I love you so much, buddy. But when you have to bring in a TV on your chest to actually get what you want, I don't know what you want to call that, but
what is this?
It's cute. It's a cute look.
Oops.
I don't know how.
Oh.
Well, I don't. Well, thanks. Yeah.
No one can see it.
Yeah, it's no problem. I'm moving it out of the way because I'll play with it. Okay, no problem. That was great. It was funny. I go, what the hell? And he pointed it out before I even got to it, folks. Line had its own built-in TV set, chest-wise.
Maybe I'm spending too much time with code. I'm growing TVs.
No, that's what you want to call it? I figured we were going to try to go, today we're going to tell you the proper way to put on a TV, like code does. That'd be interesting.
Well,
Yeah.
So with the magazine, how did the first one go after releasing it? What was in the first magazine?
It went really well. A lot of people were very excited about it. A lot of my friends are very supportive, and fortunately enough, I've been able to mingle and get to know a lot of people who've been able to help spread it a little bit further and help get it out there. It went really well. So our first issue was about it was in February. That was the February issue. So we were talking about the speed dating event. We were talking about cute date night ideas that you could do on here. That was kind of like the whole theme. And then we also, every issue for sure, we always feature some fashion at least, right? So we would write a little expose and some interesting little stuff on different creators and different assets that people made. And you get links right to those pages and stuff. So you're like, ooh, I like that. Boom, it takes it right there. And then I think we also did a group review, or not review, I guess that's like a group showcase. I can't remember who we did. I'm blanking on it. I know in March that we did Chaotic Rose, but I can't remember for February.
Okay.
I got another one for you. So how much do you, usually in your magazine, how many pages is usually set for the consumer? It's a good way to put it. I don't know how else to put it. How many pages do you have for your consumers that they're usually there for them to access no matter what's going on?
Right now, I'm keeping it somewhat brief, just because it is reading. So today's day and age with reading, so I'm kind of still feeling out how much can we write and how much are people reading, right? Because I don't want to put too much wasted effort into stuff that is just going unnoticed, right? So I'm trying to keep a nice balance of keeping to not too wordy, nice and brief, but enough to be able to describe and have fun with the writing, right? Because unlike what a lot of people do for like videos or a lot of other interviews on here, ours is like editorialized. So me or any of the other writers on the magazine, you're hearing our interpretation and of the interview or the subject and stuff like that, which I think is cool. Versus just like a base raw view of it. It's like I want to give people kind of a direction with what I think of the subject, right? Or whoever the writer is thinks of the subject.
Okay. Cool.
Okay, I gotcha.
Do you have any experience designing stuff like this, or was this your first experience designing a magazine?
I've done some graphic design work for like my bands, for example, for like album work and posters and all that things, but nothing serious. This is like my first writing venture like this. I've never done like creative writing, and I've never been a part of like a school writing thing. I enjoy like English and typing out things and stuff like that, so it's been super fun. And it's been nice getting to kind of learn more new things. Like how to interview and how to make that work out and stuff. And how do I go about making a summary of it, make it interesting and make it concise for people, which I think is also kind of an art form. Like editing is a new undertaking for me, right? Because I'll even take subjects from other people and I still need to fit it in the magazine. So, right. So like, what needs to come out? How can we change things? How do we paraphrase it to make everything fit and understandable? I think that's a cool challenge to have.
Okay. So, did you do some practice prior to releasing the first magazine, or did you just kind of do your best to release it and then learn from that and move forward?
Yeah, just went out there with it. I got nothing to be bashful about. I think I had enough quality on the first issue to feel proud of it. That's still like, I think probably my favorite cover that we've done. I did take the first cover, and it's just very adorable. It's because it's all Valentine's-y and stuff. It's really cute. But I'm sorry, I totally got distracted on that.
It's okay.
You're fine.
It's a-okay. Well, we'll ask the last couple questions before we start wrapping up, if that's all right.
Oh yeah, totally.
One of them being the name used in VRChat. Where did it come from, and why do you still use it?
The username. Oh yeah, no. This is from RuneScape. So I've probably had this username for the 20-something years at this point. Like if you Googled ZombiePunk 420, most things are gonna. Well, I dropped the 420. I used to have the 420. I've cleaned it up since. But ZombiePunk 420 will probably pop up like all my old stuff on the internet. My friend a while ago put a tilde at the end of their name, and it kind of became a meme for everybody. So I since joined the tilde gang since.
Okay. And the avatar using VRChat, why do you use it? Where'd you get it? And is there anything about it that means anything to you?
Yeah, so like I said, like I started out with like furry avatars because I didn't know much else. And in the furry world, there wasn't too many people who were visiting who weren't furries, right? So I was just seeing a lot of those. As far as I was concerned, for like the first 4 months, it was just this game was only furries, right? Which I was having a ball with. That was like my first experience hanging out with them. I never knew anybody from the community before, but I started seeing people with booth avatars, and I thought they were super adorable. The first one I had was a Kikyo. That was like the base model. There's a bunch of cute clothes and everything you can get for that, and I just started having a ball. Because I like theming for the event, so like if I could have a costume essentially for it, I think that's always fun because that helps get people into the mood and into the theme of it. And then this one right now is it's a Shinano, and it's basically the 2.0 of the Kikyo. It's from the same creator and stuff. And I don't know, it's adorable. I love just being able to look good. I've never found like a guy avatar that I like related with. There's starting to be cooler ones now that I'm liking that aren't just like, the typical like triangle shaped e-boy, right? But something I've always liked about these is there's just so many options for fashion. Like I can kit bash so many things and come up with my own looks and design them and make them work for events and different things and stuff. It's really cute. It's kind of like the ultimate fashion scape. That used to be a big thing in RuneScape where you just kind of do anything to make yourself look cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, well, thank you very much, Zombie, for joining us. It's an absolute pleasure getting to meet you, so thank you for your time.
Yes, very much. We
Oh,
appreciate
thank you guys
it
so
big time.
much.
Oh,
Yeah.
I appreciate you
anytime.
guys having me. This was fun.
oh, it was fun for us, too, getting to know you. Where can the audience find you if they wish to get to know you further?
Oh yeah, absolutely. So the group's name is Couture. You can find us with the typical beginning of a Discord with /Couture at the end of it. They'll take you right to our Discord. And we also have a Twitch, Couture TTV. We host those live streams pretty much, I would at least say every other Saturday, but if you follow, you'll get those notifications for when we're going live.
Okay. Well, all of those will be in the link down for you down below. And redefined, if you go to YouTube, it'd be in the description if you show more. You have a section called guest links, one easy place for you to find. If you're on Spotify, it'll be in the episode description, same place, same label. This is the point we'll ask you the honest member question, which is, what's your favorite avatar in VRChat and why? If you'd like to know, tell us in the descriptions. We'll read all about it. With that said, Mr. Raptor, you know the thing.
You know it, Lang. No matter what you are, or what you are, or where you're going, or how you're going in here, always pull somebody along and just wonder, if you pull that person from the real world in here, I bet you're going to get the same thing we talked about earlier. What? What are you talking about? What? And if they don't, throw them on. They'll understand. Just might take them who knows how long, but they'll get it. We'll talk to you later. Bye, folks. Have a good one.
Hello, I'm actually here to interrupt the episode you're watching really quick to ask you a favor. Please come join us at any of the other locations we have. You can find us on YouTube and Spotify, both of which we post our episodes and are very up to date on both. We have Discord where you go to hang out all the time, where you're gaming and shooting the breeze over with many people over that way. Feel free to come join us. I invite you. If you wish to support us, we have a Patreon where we post a bunch of random bits, bobs, and extra podcast every once in a while for you to go enjoy. Also, if you wish to support us while in VRChat, we're now part of the creator economy. So please come join if you wish to support us there. It's there for you to choose if you so wish. And thank you very much. And a special thanks to some of the people who have signed up on our Patreon, which are as follows, and have written down so I'll remember. And that's a tough thing. Forbidden Zero, Niche, Aliquum, Future Oracle, Lesser Capybara, and Frozen. Thank you all very much. Enjoy the rest of the episode.
I wonder if you can ride the train and go inside the fucking over there. That'd be cool.
That would be cool. How big that wall is.
Goes
though.
in there and goes around. Why? And it goes around.
Oh, it does. Holy shit.
Fuck yeah, it goes fucking around. I don't know where it goes. Like I said, I just got here. I don't know wherever there is.
Huh.
I have to check this place out.
Definitely. We're going to have to.
There's another one. There's another one I got to show you that it's called the, yeah, hold on. Another one is called the Cozy Woods. That one's cool.
Oh, okay. We're definitely going to check that out too. There's a bunch we're going to have to check out.
Yeah, there's some new ones in.